Yeah, she wants them. Yeah. That sounds like, come into my web, said the spider to the fly. Yeah. Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. Oop, you two. You don't need a backwards tandem with one behind and one in front.
Merrick's pretty good about it because I fiddle with the radio a lot and my phone.
Well, and they just need to learn to hang around.
Yeah, he's gotten
That's
better.
you know, if you're going to be somebody's horse, that's the basic principle. You got to hang around where they leave you. It's just part of life. Discussing where you're standing shouldn't be an issue. That's right. We just have to wait patiently. You can tell by Merrick's ears he's editing this idea.
You can turn your head, guys.
When all else fails, stop where your person says and hang out till they change the program. That certainly made your candidate apart. That was legal if you moved that time, Jada. Oh, it wasn't your clock, so he didn't need to.
But he didn't know that.
Well, he was pretending he didn't. He kind of flicked an ear and he went, oh, I can't tell the difference.
I wanted him to not leave. Was it really
He did know the difference, but he did consult with himself.
Sometimes he's like, that means go.
You're like, that must be for me. Oh, I guess not. Of course, he's walking nicely. You have a 3 or 4 inch overtrack, which is good.
Sometimes I think he's kind of like a snotty teenager.
They're a lot like
Well, you
kids.
said go.
They're like kids. They play us. You taught me to go when you clock. Now you don't let me go when you clock.
Like, not my fault.
I'm sure he can tell my clock from your clock, but he also can operate both of us. So when you move around, Diane, like you got in half seat, make sure he doesn't slow down.
Yeah,
You
I felt that.
Yeah, you got in half seat and he went, oh, what's she doing? I got to stop and listen. No, you don't. Move along. That's a good boy. I mean, getting in half seat's a wonderful thing to do because it's really, really good for you.
Yes.
But you could see him go, oh, I need to review this. Well, no, you probably don't. You're smart. That's a good boy. Like he's concerned that you've changed location.
No, I'm not as strong as I should be, but we're working on it.
Yeah, you get there. Let your leg hang straight down. It needs to stretch or it falls back. That canter trot work would do pretty well in 3-star B. You'd be able to come out of the canter and go collect it.
Well, he needs to learn how to come out of the camera.
Anything to not have to do intermediate 7 anymore. I'm so sick of that test. It's good now, Diane. Even better. He looks like, I want to get home in time for tea.
And Dana knows we've been working on this.
It's very good.
Hard to have forward if you don't have it at the front.
Exactly. Yeah, it's supposed to look like they're going downhill toward home at supper time on a smooth road with a tailwind. That's it. When you clock, it moves. That's
Another
that's
treat was good later. Let's have an accelerator.
yeah. You know, basically,
You are
when you cluck, there should be response. Because I don't like talking to myself. And in the dressage world, that's the level of response we want. I make a noise, you give me an answer. Because theoretically, they're supposed to be tuned into us, which is, more or less the case. That's a good boy. Just let your leg drop down. Leave your side kind of out of it. There we go. So your leg and your position clings to the horse, but doesn't grip it. And we all grew up gripping. Keep the dollar bill in your thigh, or the teacher gets it. But that isn't really very effective. So anytime we grip, we make pressure, and if he can't get rid of pressure, then he can't respond to it. See him, Eric, you're a good boy. Where'd he go, huh? Where'd he go? He left.
Me. Wait.
He left. He left me. And one of the things you need to do with him is you go around Listen, see if you hear hind toes dragging.
I'm supposed to be able to hear that, Robert?
Yes.
Hey, Diane.
Okay.
Diane.
I was looking at Jade and I heard it, and I don't hear.
Yeah, I think I think she posted one of
I can
those.
hear.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Okay,
watching
yeah.
Jada go out, then I hear this funny extra noise going by the only ear to hear.
Yeah.
That's better.
Sunday.
And you know, thoroughbreds are called daisy cutters for a reason.
I'll do that, yeah. It's such a contrast to their Dutch harness.
Oh, God.
Until I lose.
I call them flails.
I got that one.
Somewhere in between is what I'm
You
looking
know,
for.
I can't do much of that.
Adonis horse, Nifty horse, those upper level horses.
I've got enough
A lot of
space
them aren't so
because
Dutch.
528 gigabytes.
That'll hold quite a bit.
Like whatever's goofy in Donna's horse is probably from his many races winning standardbred mother. When she gets aggravated, I said, don't forget Donna. His mother was a very, very good racehorse. Oh, that's right. Yeah, good.
There's activity. We'll
Lots
get
of
it
boing,
going.
huh? Your left rein is snugger than your right one. Not that it really matters because they're both kind of loose, but the left one was sending a little connection. Good. And remember in your posting, when I learned to ride, it was up, down, up, down, up, down, which puts a lot of emphasis on the down. So now I don't teach up, down much anymore. But when I do teach beginners, I teach them down, up, down, up, down, up. So you land and pop, and land and pop, and land and pop. So your seat isn't retarding the back motion. Yeah, that's good. Much better, much better. So you give him something to go to, a little quickness in your seat, and he's like, oh, yeah, I heard you. Anything we can do not to have to kick all the time. If you have to kick, you have to kick. But anything we do so you don't have to kick all the time, what are you looking at?
Nothing.
Yeah, there is something, but I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Say it.
I'm looking.
Or maybe he's finding an excuse to slow down.
Exactly. I think I moved the band.
Oh, Kathy moved. Something changed. Yet, kick with the right leg. Yeah. So the bendy aid with the rein doesn't do much good unless he's answering with the inside leg. So pretty much any time you go to do anything, you got to kick the inside leg up. Like that was a beautiful turn because you kicked his inside leg up. Now kick the other one up. There you go. If the inside leg comes up, pretty much the rest of the horse goes. Put your eyeballs back to the head. It's interesting because I always used to think his right hind leg was the less functional, but the white one is the one I hear dragging today. Not much. Just kind of like, oh, I'll tap my toe on the way by. Good boy. That's all right. We'll give you some leg yields. You'll use both hands. Good. Socks are nice and busy. Remember to let the leg drop down. Every time you rise, just let your weight drop into your foot. That's it. And you don't have to worry keeping your heel down. It goes there by itself. It keeps your position centered at the base of the position instead of up in the core. Good boy. So what? I'm supposed to make my hind legs come through? That's the idea. He's stretching in it. Good boy. Look what he's doing with his neck. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's reaching and rounding. He didn't flatten it. He rolled it. Good.
Well, and I wasn't really asking for much. I was letting him work into it, I
Yeah.
felt.
Let him take a break.
But I felt like he was getting into the brand new one.
Yeah, it's very nice. You still got your right rein loose and your left rein snug. Yeah. You need those rainbow reins. Everybody does that. I teach a gal named Nancy Dimmick, and I've taught her for years, with a very sensitive, kind of hot little Morgan. I've been telling her for years that her left rein is longer. She's been telling me for years that I see things. And then she got reins with stops on them, and she said, oh my God, I was 2 stops shorter on that rein. I said, yeah, like I said. She said, I worked on getting through that, and what a difference it's made in the horse. Because the horse is always going around going, you're pulling on the rein. They feel everything. I had a guy come for a drive, to learn to drive. And just by the way he handled the horse, I could tell he didn't have any give and take in his arm. He was very good as a mechanic, but not much give and take. So I gave him my old mare with a big head that could pull Christoph across, and she wouldn't go. So I gave him the old Morgan mare that's impossible to stop, and she wouldn't go, because I could feel the dead spot in his arm. So I had to teach him by having him ground drive him. The horses just wouldn't go. They weren't going into that dead arm. Good boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because you didn't have flexibility in the leg anymore. You had to that was classic. You had to waken up that side of him again because she couldn't use the hip. So the leg hadn't been doing the on-off thing. So he forgot it. How's he doing?
Good. He's doing much better.
He looks good.
Yeah, he can move out here.
He looks really nice. And Chester's been good and sound?
Yes.
You look good too. I see they gotta change the location.
Chester grew up, so we haven't had his right.
The work, because out there people go by him 24/7.
Well, they kept changing horse mix, so you never have a herd.
He didn't like that.
Anyway, he's good now.
Did you feel what he did? He stopped and then the front legs walked forward. So now he's hollow. And he had to make a big step to go forward. So the into the halt needs to be a forward idea. And what he did was he stopped with the rear end, then he walked ahead of himself. So he hollowed, and then when he had to go, he was like, oh man, my butt ain't there. So the halt needs to be from the leg better, much better. That time he stepped up to balance, but that's not allowed. Ooh. So halt his feet in concrete, and when I'm training halt, I don't let them rearrange.
Like that?
Like that. That's because he didn't like the halt he made, it was uncomfortable. So he's adjusting it. My thing with him is, the less I have to argue with them, the more I can convince them of the non-wisdom of their ways, the better. So I ask for a stop. If they give me a bad stop, too bad, hold it, buddy. And then pretty quick they get sick of holding their bad stops. And they square, because they're supposed to square up. But, look, all the...
Should I be reinforcing it vocally?
I would have, yeah, because now he's moved 3 steps.
Yeah.
He said, screw you. And he's really hollow.
Walk on?
That's better. So, he needs to be more prompt, more definitive. You know, the attitude about halt is, well, yeah, so what? You asked for it, but I don't really care. And it should be, quit what you're doing, put your feet in concrete, don't move again. Oop. Soften your rein, and get him if he moves. I know he is. He knows. That's a good boy. Much better. But again, you feel him hollow and he had to step up.
Yeah.
So he didn't move, but he didn't make a great halt. And so I persist. And I don't have the advantage that I got legs in a seat.
I know.
So it better step up because I can't kick it. But I do have a stick. I can aggravate it. So walk forward. Whoop. And don't move. Yeah, I would have snapped the rein.
No.
And that's the other thing.
Don't back him into it.
Right. And I'm totally with the Cowboys about the backup thing for balance and obedience. But then what happens, if you're not careful, is they don't bother to make good halt because you're going to back them anyway. So I don't back often. I have a very good back. I use it to make sure it's very good today. But I don't do, better. Ah! See, for him it's easier to back than it is to stand. And so I think a very useful tool gets overused because it's, and this is a terrible halt, but leave it, because he's holding it. You got one leg rest and another one.
I was going to say, I'm feeling like...
But he's got a funny look on his face. He's getting a message. He may walk. Don't lean forward.
Okay.
And don't kick if you don't have to.
Okay.
Because that punished him for standing.
Okay.
So I feel it's my job, when they give me a whoa, to bring them out of it kindly.
Okay.
Because why would you stop if somebody blasts you every time you sit and stand still? And make low. Whoop. Better. Ah. You can stretch your neck. The other thing that they get into is we ask them to come around, and then they rock back and do the back up. That's terrible. I would.
You would rip with the left
I'd
rein.
have grabbed the left rein and said, "Don't stick your leg out there because I'm going to break it." Now you may walk. You shouldn't jump.
Yeah, you see, and that's, I felt that. It's like,
Your-
oh my gosh, I must be doing
Your
something.
leg is too far back and you're digging.
Okay.
I should not see hair between the front of your calf and the girth. It's an old hunt thing. The leg goes further and further and further back. And the leg back there is a balking aid, like with the babies. But I can tell his mind doesn't think, oh crap, I gotta stop. His mind thinks, strolling into it now, better. So leave your leg right where it is, just close your heel. Walk on, don't move your body. Very good.
Yes, it's a big difference. I mean, still a little clench.
Well, not much.
Yeah.
But the armpit, right behind the girth, is the go aid. And you don't have to kick as hard there. The other thing is, if you tilt your body, you know, there are the learned aids that we teach them, like reins and legs and whip. There are the natural aids, like our weight. The natural aids they receive best. So if you go to use your leg and rock your body, he receives the body aid over the leg aid. So if you sit still, I kind of like my horse to think, what was an emergency? Now just sit still and close your legs. Ah, good boy. That one he did not by walking away with the front end, but by taking a step to the back end.
Oh, good. That's
To get the
that's my
engagement.
goal.
That's what we're after. And that's why I like to teach them to come off the cluck pretty promptly. But I don't think cluck equals your leg back. It's too far back. Leg forward. I don't think a cluck is really offensive or scary like a kick is. So if they can just respond to the cluck, I don't bother them. Or the word, but I get the cluck out quicker than I can a word. Oop. That started beautifully. Then he goes, I buzz off, we'll leave. Did he tucked his butt, he went to stop, but you need to take the rein and say, I just made this an emergency. You can walk. Don't lean. You got to keep the body still. If you rock over your sitting bones, you're giving an aid. And if you do this, rock ahead of your sitting bones, that sends the power out the back. So you want to sit. So your seat sends the power. Your right leg's still too far back. Bring your right leg forward. 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 Yeah, now you're straight.
Okay. Nope.
That's what you said it. So you got to let him go. Walk on.
Oh, okay.
You said okay, but then you lean forward.
Yeah, okay.
But when you
I
said okay,
fidgeted.
you said okay in a way that meant go, so that was kind of legitimate.
Okay.
So now he did a beautiful coil and lock with the rear end, but he didn't get the emergency stop.
Okay.
So we want him to understand that when I say stop, all life ceases. That wonderful Israeli cowboy dressage guy, Eitan Bethel Acme, that was much better. He's one of the finer horsemen in the world. And he says, when you ride, ride. When you want to stop, don't ride. Quit. Very good. Walk up. Don't move the body. You have to get rid of any sit, plot, and go. Nice walk now.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Because you sat down your butt, you said, move your ass, and he said, I got you. Your right leg tends to be this far behind your left one, which means your whole body's twisting. Whoop. That was a forward transition. He walked up to it and stopped. And walked. Good boy. And he stepped up and pushed.
Good.
Watch your leg. It's bad, bad, bad. Push it forward. Push it forward. There. And now they're the same. So I shouldn't see hair in front of your shin. You can go trotting. Trot. Good boy. I like to make all, he's a nice, easy, relaxed horse. But I like to make all of his responses immediate. Because he's kind of la. Life's a joke. Keep your body tall. So when you're riding, the only place that it's legitimate to get tired is the back of the base of your neck, between your shoulders, and across your ribs. The rest of your body shouldn't be doing any work. Because riding's not really supposed to be aerobic exercise, unless you're riding very hard. Good boy. Turn your shoulders. Good. Good. So don't worry about keeping your leg back. That went out with the Aztecs. There you go. Like nobody has a worse position than Tori Colvin, and look how successful she is. She's hideous to watch. I can't stand watching her. But I love to watch her horses go.
She must have the timing down or something.
She has rhythm and horse balance and horse brain. Her position is beyond disgusting. She's usually lying on the neck with the heels up by the cantle of the saddle. But the horses go beautifully for her. Because she has rhythm and sympathy and all that. Good. Good. Good, good boy. I wasn't sure it was going to be straight, but it was. So get the inside leg up, up. That's a good boy. You moved it when you said so. So every turn starts with the hind leg, which makes the horse go around right, but it also tells the horse, hello, I'm on the program, let's do it. Bring your outside shoulder around. There we go. And the stride gets bigger. So just by having our shoulder back on the outside, you're going opposite his motion and you're retarding him. He'd be happy to play retarded, he doesn't care. The outside rein comes straight back, not down, not out, and not kink the wrist. It's a piston. It rolls forward and back. It puts pressure on, it takes pressure off. That's how all the reins work, and not the elbow popping out, because that makes pectoral tension from you, and he goes, eh. You know, and even in a plastic bit, he knows what you're doing. Good boy. This is very nice. Much more active than we had earlier. Good boy. So without stiffening your body, make a walk transition. Close your legs, sink, walk. Ah, super, huh? Trot.
Much better.
Trot. Same thing. Yeah, there, good boy. That was a really nice walk transition. He humped his back, he dropped his butt, he said, I walked. It was very pretty. And, you know, as he gets older, to make him last forever, we have to keep tweaking all these responses. Put your leg under. I saw you set the shoulder, but I didn't see you set the inside arm leg first. And he was a little bit going to go with the shoulder and not answer your leg. That's a good boy. So you need to have each thought of what we're going to do preceded by a leg saying what we're going to do. And he's very good at answering that. And he's, you know, he's relaxed. The tail wags, the horse is happy. He's not asleep by any means, but he's relaxed. Let your leg go straight down. If you don't let your leg come back, you won't come forward. If your leg comes back, you pivot at the knee. That's very nice. Good boy. He's really out there hunting for your hands. Fella.
Should I have him a little bit more?
You can. I've been looking at endurance riders all winter. I'm used to people with their rein swapping. And every day, my day starts with 2 hours of endurance riders before I do anything else. Even there, you just drop the right rein. You picked it up, you connected, it was beautiful, and you dropped it. Good boy. Yeah, very nice. Came to walk, he stretched, he pushed the button. He didn't do anything but hump his back and go, which is what he's supposed to do. Leg, inside leg. Yeah. And he lifts around the corner. You're still coming forward. I'm getting tired sitting up for you. There. So if your leg is a little bit braced forward, it'll keep your body up. Yeah, good. It also puts your leg to be on him. If your leg keeps sliding back, I don't feel like you're hunting him with your heel. Good boy. Good boy. Very nice. Very nice. He's tracking slightly haunches left. That was a lovely transition. Came around the corner, and I'm waiting for you to straighten. His right hind leg is still coming under. His left hind leg was stepping out. So when he comes to the straightaway, he's got to get out of the turning position into the straight position.
Okay.
That may be what he thinks is straight, but he's wrong.
Okay.
Before you make the transition, yeah, that's good. Nice walk. And his neck is stretching all the right things. Good boy.
We're still concerned, looking for ways to build this hollow behind, behind and underneath with.
Yep. You belly lift him
Yeah.
every day before start every day when you're done?
May not remember when I'm done, but yes. And then there was just recently an
That's-
article about
that's
the
why I
carrot
long for you.
exercises, doing things like that, which
Yeah.
I could
I think the
understand.
carrot exercises help, but they don't do for the withers pockets what the belly lift at the girth does.
Okay.
The belly lift at the girth lifts that whole thing. My red horse has outgrown 3 saddles. He now has a custom-made saddle that doesn't, it's huge arc over his withers, and the panels don't touch his side till down below the pocket, so nothing can pinch him there. Because he's gotten too wide, not through fat, but through development,
Yeah.
for 3 different saddles. There, it finally got straight.
Good.
So he came around the corner, still planning to go either leg yield right or fall left, I wasn't sure which.
He probably couldn't discern it either.
He didn't know. He just didn't. It was called, he didn't bother to do a little maintenance job of catching his own balance.
Are you
This-
worried about it?
I'm fine. This is not a horse that worries about his balance. You know, he pretty much is comfortable in his own skin.
Which is why we love the counter camp.
Yeah, exactly. He can do any job. He's like every horse. The most generous, kindest, athletic horse will cheat every chance they get. They're like teenagers. The path of least resistance physically is where they go.
Did she notice that I cut that corner? Oh no, well let's see what she has on this one.
Yeah, I'll make it a little worse if she notices. There you are with your left rein snug and your right rein loose. And I've been watching. It's not because your whip's in the right rein because your whip wanders around like it's supposed to. But something in you doesn't want to pick up the right rein. I don't know what. Don't pump him. Kick him or hit him. No, this with the seat does no good. It bothers the back. It makes them numb.
Yeah.
Whatever. He likes to travel with his right hind leg between his front feet and his left hind leg off to the left. He travels slightly haunches left.
We got worked on by Trish on Monday,
Uh-huh.
and we'll get lasered, I don't know, maybe next week or the week after. It's on pretty alternate weeky type
Yeah,
care.
that's what it works.
You know, and particularly since 2 days ago I found, the track of an abscess coming out of his, cornet band. It's like, great.
So he obviously had an abscess. It's pretty straight. Good. Because it doesn't help that the right hind leg goes blip, blip, blip instead of staying under and it pops out.
He gets really sore in the trochanter
I
up
would
here
imagine. I
on
would
his
imagine.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Well,
work,
it does, that whole half of his, quarter of his body does way more journey, way more outward things than anything else when he doesn't keep the right hock under. So my horse has his Reiki master, mistress, and then he sees the chiropractor, and then he sees the acupuncturist, and then he wants to see them all again.
yeah, it's not like they are low maintenance at this point.
No. And he has his CBD oil, and he
And
gets,
how do you use that, Robin? You just put it in particular spots? Or?
no, I put it in his food.
Okay.
You can rub it on things, but I put it in his food. And it just gives him a serenity he never had. See, that's very straight, good.
Trish used it on my back a couple visits ago for last summer, and I couldn't believe it.
It is truly a cure-all, but you don't want to get so involved in it because, it just, how can one thing be a crutch for everything? But it is.
Well, but I mean, I felt like, I have let's call it limited sensation
Yeah.
from this knuckle to the fingernail.
But it enhances it.
But I would say that it definitely did.
Yeah, Indy is always tight in the back. He would love to live on methocarbamol, which I use some, but I don't let him live on all the time. But it's all the issues that we know he has from having foundered, a neck that's set on too low, etc., and a very high tight back. They all seem to just go away with the CBD oil. It's like all his cares go bye-bye. He doesn't cry in the ring anymore. I don't use it all the time. I use it in show week. All right, let's pick the goon back up. We'll do some canters. My favorite. I could canter all day.
No, don't slow down if I pick up the reins.
And you don't pump your body any harder if you pick up the reins. Because if you're going, when you see, he goes, maybe I'll try to stop that motion. There you go. It's okay if you follow the horse, but don't do more than the horse can. So it's up, because your right rein's a little The right rein's a little loose.
Okay, let's do that over again.
Yeah, I didn't look organized.
No, it wasn't.
He's dead obedient, so he went. But I didn't see him say, "Oh, hi, I feel your range. What would you like to do?" He's giving me the dead eye, and then he pops the decanter. So get your right rein connected. Feel a half a pound to a pound in your right rein. Shorten your right rein. That's not how you shorten a rein. There you go.
I knew I was gonna get busted on
You
that
get
one.
in trouble for that. Now keep your right rein in canter. And not be hard, but just have to stay connected. Sit quietly, sit back. Just imagine you're riding on it there. You're sitting on a boat on a slow chop, just rippling along. Good boy. Can you feel as much horse and equal horse in each hand?
Now I can, right now.
Yeah, I tell people each hand needs its own brain, because you only got one brain right now. Each hand needs its own brain. Each hand needs its own sensory system. You should, as you sit there, be able to move your right hand back and have your left hand feel it through the horse's mouth. Or move your left hand back and have your right hand feel it through the horse's mouth. Or release the rein and have the other hand feel it. If one hand can feel the other hand through the medium of the horse's mouth, well, that's very nice, and he relaxed into it. Then you truly have connection. So I only have reins. I got a different voice, bad temperament, but I only have reins. So I move my right hand, and I see, because my horse going in a double jointed hip right now. Can I feel it in the other hand? I'll remove that one. So each hand should be aware of talking to the other one. This is very pretty. Sit back. Remember, you want to have the horse, what we term in dressage, ahead of your leg. It's very hard for him to get ahead of your leg when you're sitting on his withers. Also, you want to stay out of the withers pocket, because there's so much traffic that goes through this. Very pretty. Good. Oh, much better. So go change lead somewhere. Keep feeling, hi Annie, how are you? Keep feeling both hands all the way through the change. I'll give you a yank like you just did with the right hand. The left hand should have felt it. Canter, sit back and down. Good boy. A little bit of right leg. The right leg keeps bend and connection forward. The outside leg makes jump. So if you need more jump, outside leg. If you need forward or bend or connection, inside leg. I think, I say carriage now. I think I used to use about 2 insides to 1 outside. Get back. Don't whisk him forward. Get behind him. Make him want to get out from underneath you. There we go. Very good. Hey, how are you, Kathy? Your outside shoulder needs to come full. Yeah. Feel him lift up? So if you want to affect the canter as in improve it and lighten it, ask as he lifts. Like now. There. And you get more, huh? So if you feel it's a little flat or non-responsive, with the inside leg, pop him up as he lifts. That's a good boy. Have you got him in your outside hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And I see the wrist kinking. I think you've lost him. So you got to unkink the wrist, because he doesn't want to stay in a kinky wrist. Good boy. So close your leg, lift your tummy, and trot. Very good. Receive him in your hand. The right rein went snatch, flop, flop, snatch, flop, flop. So you got to receive him in both hands. You got to use your 2 little brains that are in your hand. Forget about the one that's in your head at that moment. And make sure your 2 little brains felt each other. And canter, sit, go. Good job. As soon as you sat back, you went.
Yes. I threw my shoulders forward and he thinks like, what?
That grab, she lost, damn it, she lost her balance again. You come to trot, make sure you feel both hands. You did, huh? And he came right, go across the diagonal. Came right to balance and trot that time, because you were there with both little brains, one in each hand, saying, hello, I'm out here, instead of abandoning him. Good boy. So when you want to go forward, sit tall. No begging involved in this project. Make sure your outside shoulder comes forward. Your outside leg is doing much better. When you need more from the leg, clock, kick, back up with the whip. Don't push it further back. And then you got forward, you wanted something, I don't know what, with the wrong hand. Don't come forward when you want him to go. Sit back, let your tail sink into him, and dig it, just let it sink. Ah, very good one. The right rein is still off duty half the time.
Okay?
Feel his mouth. There you go. And make trot. Close your legs, stretch tall, good boy. Keep your connection. Make sure your right hand feels your left hand. Yeah, and he feels it. Good. Good. Good boy. Canter again wasn't an issue because you had him connected. As you're cantering, make sure your right hand can feel your left hand. There's another level of awareness. It needs to become instinct. Probably not something you were taught in the hunter world. Boy, don't come forward. Don't give up. Sit tall. Come trotting. Very good boy. And come walking. Sit tall, close your heel. And he really tucks his butt, which I love.
And he did not fall out. I love it.
Did not fall out, he did not fall in, he did not fall through your hand, and you didn't flap a rein. He tucked his butt, came to your hand, and sat right there. So he did all the work. All at once. Yeah, right. Half the time you're on vacation. They always go on vacation. But that's one of the reasons for each hand knowing where he's at. Because he can spit one rein out and go, well, I'm done with her. And if you feel him spit a rein out, take it back. I've watched them. They'll make the littlest move and spit a rein out. You've got to take it back and then straighten. Because otherwise they're going, I'm off duty. Lunchtime. He takes his card out of the slot, the time machine.
Oh, no, he still wants to be paid.
And of course he wants to be paid. And he's thoroughbred. You have a sensitivity level that only the Arabs can beat. They're very wonderfully sensitive unless you let them be numb. Or
So
you can
that
have a warm
fence
blood.
is finally working. It is. Yes, and Mike, you tried to tell through
He
it.
adapted very well.
Doctors spun around.
I remember when Mike Plum first started riding Adonis before Barcelona.
I was like, well, I don't want to hurt
I think
you.
Jack Legoff, I think that was Jack Legoff is still on duty.
Just stay
He
in.
says, Michael,
At least she went to
why do you
jail.
always go direct to level 10 of
Go
punishment?
like this.
He said, because it always works.
Like worm on
And
you.
Legoff says, no, I got an answer for that. And I remember him saying, one day he walks into the stall and Adonis looks at him and goes, we met. And he said, Adonis, you stupid shit. You are associated with the meanest man in the business, and you can't remember me from yesterday. You're supposed to be traumatized when you see me.
Yeah, maybe like right back there in the
But
very
he was used to
corner.
dealing with
It's like,
thoroughbreds. That was the first warm blood he
Wind
ever
block
met. He
place.
said,
Other than that,
well,
it's like,
the
this
good
is all.
news every day is a new day, and the bad news every day is a new day. Because the twitch medicine, you're not done.
Not with your pants down.
I know, I can see him doing this.
Annie.
She is cuff. She is the dearest thing.
Julie said 2 pheasants flew up in front of him or whatever. It's awfully windy out there. She's like, luckily he was peeing, so he didn't even flinch.
You know what it is? It's gusting. So it makes
Oh, it's
sturgeon.
cold.
It is cold.
Kathy broke out her winter hat.
Honestly, in your south field, it's not bad, because the wind is going over it.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
that's right, 'cause
this
it's
is
a
all
hollow.
it's all enclosed.
It's a hollow.
Yeah.
You know what I find really helpful?
I wish I had a
These
dressage
little
arena
mouths,
back
I
there.
give them my hand, and they very quickly figure out, don't bite it. Like, she'll chew on my hand all day. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got her for biting me twice. Now she sits here and
She's
chews,
just
but she doesn't bite,
nine.
which is good.
Oh,
Not the glove. Glove's worth more than you are.
Penny wears these shirts that have like little frills on
Oh,
them.
yeah?
Sometimes she's,
I'm sure she's traveling along with a dog at that.
yeah, Penny just keeps walking.
There was an older gal yesterday in the airport with a dress a little short for age. It wasn't really an age-appropriate dress. And she had a cane, so she walked kind of unevenly. And she was making a pretty good time. And her dress was one of those ones that had like 4 or 6
Like the
different-
layers?
Yeah, there was one of the seams that the shark fin goes up and down, up and down.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite, and all the little parts that were hanging down were really jiggling. I thought, man, my dog could have her. It was kind of a neat gauzy dress. Each of the little flaps was going. I said, oh, those two would have her in a moment. They feel the need to grab her.
Hey, Diane, what do you want to do for Robin's lunch?
I'll do today.
Okay.
She's gonna be here.
Yeah, if you,
I'll do
I can do tomorrow and Sunday. I just haven't gone grocery shopping.
Well, or Ginny's more than happy to come and do it.
Tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said,
Well,
hey, Wilson, last night, what'd you do today? I said, I went
I
grocery
did finally get an email back from Ginny. She said, well, I don't think Lucy's ready for a lesson, but can I come? And I was like, yes.
You can always come.
So,
Yes, you
Come and
can.
commit. You know,
Yeah.
So-
you're welcome.
yeah, no, I'll handle today, Jenny.
Okay.
And then so if you handle Sunday, because I'm pretty sure she won't be here Sunday.
I can handle Sunday.
And I won't be back quite yet then.
I can handle Sunday.
Kid has fed me a lot of lunches. I never died yet.
I just have to go to the grocery store. I was gonna yesterday, but then I fixed the fence
I said,
again.
I was here at 7:30 last night.
I was
I
still
said,
here
Wilson,
at
what'd
10
you do
o'clock
today?
last night.
He said, well, I hitched two
9:30.
horses, and I drove your horse, and I went grocery shopping. I said, what, I'm not there to feed? He said, no, I ran out of things. So the guy that was in our house left us lots of things and eat and eat. All right, Bo, let's pick you back up. So pick up the reins, sit still. Don't
Hardest
stand,
part.
and your right leg's up on his hip.
That reminds me, I should make sure that there's not any strange foods in Denise's trailer.
Yeah, there
We
might be.
cleaned, well, Xavier cleaned most of the food out.
We ate the food. What'd you do with all the burnt shit? The burnt pot.
Oh, we threw,
They cooked the rice in.
yeah, it was like a microwavable thing,
No.
so I just made it smell
All I know
really
is
bad.
the fumes rolling out of there was stinky.
Yes. Hey, what are you
I
doing?
stopped up to visit Dimmick's, and I said, oh, Xavier must be cooking. Did you hear that Mary Hanson had the brain tumor?
Did not hear that.
I don't know the rest of it yet. Dwight said, I'll let you know when I know what it is.
It seems to be something going around
Yeah,
because,
well, you know, she was very weird all women, very disconnected, and
yeah,
she
so
made mistakes when she was recording and decided.
it was kind of, yeah, she said she was having a hard time.
Yeah,
in
everything
Versailles.
was hard for her.
Well, and she couldn't put two and two together. It was kind of weird because, like,
Well,
you know, they didn't have a stall for Jace,
Yes.
so then later on,
She got
they
all
told me to go down to that little area or whatever, and then,
She got all confused about that.
well, yeah, and she's like, well, that's where I put my horse, and I was like, well, what's that stall?
Well, and the other thing was.
And I was like, well, I can move
when she
Jace
got
one stall
confused,
over.
She get ugly, and she's never been that way. We're still trotting. She's never been like that. I was really, and we wondered. She said she had a concussion last fall. It shouldn't have been. And about 10 days after they were home, Dwight said Mary's been in the hospital. She has a brain tumor. We won't know more till next week. I'll let you know.
Does
So, and I,
concussions give you tumors?
no, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think these are two.
just say I thought they were kind of not
No, these are
correlated.
two functions, but I don't know what it is or where it is or where it's doing or not. But anyway, it's there. So I don't even know if she's gonna need me this summer. She said she was really frustrated with Bree, and I told her to get another horse.
Yeah, when I
She
talked
doesn't wanna
to
take
she
that.
said she was gonna sell all of them.
She's gonna sell the black bears, and Dwight sent me a very cute picture of her on a bay horse. She looked very happy. And so I said, well, you need me in June? Oh, absolutely. I'll have a driving horse by then. But then I realized she doesn't know what she's doing, because I reminded her she owed me for 2 more lessons. Well, she said she just looks cross-eyed at me.
Yeah.
I mean, not good. But she's always very together.
Well, that's too bad.
That's horrible. Poor Dwight. Beside himself. So when you come around here, on that side, go up the quarter line, which is this inside the light.
Okay?
Make a turn, it goes where you want it.
Danny.
Don't let him drift. Get him straight. Now
Okay.
leg yield into the wall.
Long tail.
Without putting your leg back. So A, I think you need to move your whip.
Yes.
Come on the quarter line again.
Second, I also need to put myself back together.
Oh, that's all right, it's falling apart. Make repairs if needed.
Now my wrist would be in the wrong position.
Well, your whip should be part of your inside leg,
Okay.
unless you're doing counterbends. So come, turn, now. Good, come straight, look at the wall, get after him with your left leg. Don't mess with the rein. And he can't, begin to do it. He can't go sideways unless you have the outside rein, the one you don't like to use, there for support. So you build him a wall with your outside rein, get into it with your inside leg, and he'll go, don't panic, you're not gonna get it done, because you'll get it done. Because as soon as you get tight, you see he goes, what's wrong now?
Right?
So turn on the line.
It's hard until you feel it correctly.
Now, sit quiet, don't use your inside leg. Kick him over, kick him over, kick him
Oh,
over.
I'm sorry, I went the other way trying to straighten him up.
Oh, well,
Because he was, my my
Yeah,
confusion.
that's all right. You can, ooh, not-
Jim's like, I'm confused
Go
too.
back at the end of a halt and go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Sit tall, don't move your body, don't jump around. And you had to jump straight in one leg. That's right. He said, I'm trying to receive all these messages that I don't know what they are.
There we go.
Good. Now tap with your left leg. Tap, tap. Oh, that works better, huh? You were digging.
Yeah.
When I catch a hold of the guy that invented digging with a heel, I'm going to kill the bastard. You don't dig, you tap. You poke, you irritate, you aggravate. Good, good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now you got to have the outside rein from the bit, up the rein, through your fingers, through your straight wrist, through your elbow, and your elbow sits on your body so you know where it is, and then you can push into it. Sit back. There, better, better, better. Because you get worried about performance, so you lean forward, then your heel digs and you can't tap, and then your hand goes somewhere. So bring your outside elbow onto your ribs. Kick, kick. There we go. Good boy.
Change weight. Or keep going.
No, keep going. You think you're getting out of running?
It was worth a shot, Robin.
And post higher. Yeah. Not harder, higher. The higher is to make the step a little bigger, give you more time to swing his leg. You go down, good boy, Andy. Turn. Connect. Go. Where are you looking? Why would he go there if you're looking at me? There you go. Now make a half circle, same direction. Leg yield your half circle a little bit. Ah. He could have leg yielded it more.
Yes, he could have.
He started to drift out, and then he went, how the hell will you tell him?
Penny uses her ears, they're like napkins.
Okay. Your ears are beautiful.
Nice.
Right leg, tap, tap. Don't mess with your right rein. Why'd you clap the right rein?
I don't know.
He answered it. You looked right, then he couldn't go leg loose. Go straight, off your right leg. Tap, 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 tap. Don't mess with the reins. Tap, tap. Okay, he's about halfway underneath himself. So connect to both reins and don't change them. Now tap him off your leg. Tap, tap, tap. Take your outside rein and straighten him. There you go. So when he does that phony bend thing in the shoulders, take your outside rein and say, hey, straighten up, asshole.
So his nose can be looking at the H just like I am. Not really.
He doesn't need to do this. Leg yield is done with the body straight with a slight inside flexion.
Okay.
Flexion is in the jaw.
Okay.
Flexion is not at the base of the neck.
Okay.
And it's not bend, it's a slight flexion, meaning he doesn't look out.
Okay.
But he doesn't, when you ask him, he flops his neck to the right. I'm not sure where he's going with it. Good boy, come on, kick that right eye down. Yeah, there we go. He shouldn't be tired yet.
No. But then again,
He's
So
like, I'm
remember-
tired of
remember
this.
you- Yeah, remember you got two hands, each one with a brain. Connect them both down and tap him over. Tap, tap, tap. I don't see the leg moving. That's better. That's better. He went, didn't he?
yes, he did.
So I'm watching and I'm thinking, I wonder what part of her is tapping.
No comment.
And the thing with him
Her
is,
brain.
you know, he's a very literal horse. And if you don't get no message, he says, la, 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 la. I'm not trying to say anything else, but I don't know what you want, so I'm going to go along. Your leg goes poke, poke, poke. You know, it doesn't have to be a big kick, but it might need to hold both hands.
Seems
tap
like a
him
pretty
over.
good feature
Tap
for
him
a
over.
thoroughbred.
Yeah, good boy.
Most of them don't come like that.
No, that's a good one. Still too much neck bend.
Okay.
How would you fix the neck bend?
Straighten both, put both pressure on both reins.
No, grab the outside bend.
Okay.
It's going, there, go on. There you go. Feel his butt drop out from underneath you?
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to say you got rid of the shoulder bend. And he dropped his right hip and he went under, under. This is a piece he needs to learn.
I know how Diane feels.
Keep your outside rein. Tap, tap. Don't mess with the inside rein. If you truly keep the outside rein straight, he can't,
Do that.
but he'll try. And you get worried and grab the inside rein and he goes, bring the outside rein back and kick into it. There. Good boy. All the legs cross.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, man, am I going to fall down? I guess I'm all right. But He's really dropping the right hip now, which he doesn't like to do. So get the outside rein and bring it to your hip. Yeah, don't mess with the inside one. And don't pick him up and worry. Just, you bring your hand back and you hold. Like the only thing like this I can do, well actually we do have to leg grip in advance. Driving. Good tap, 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 tap. There you go, let him walk. Whoop, walk. Good boy. I'll be glad to take a break. Very good. So it cannot happen without the outside rein.
Correct.
And when he gets in the outside rein, he goes, ba-doop, ba-doop, and he drops his hip and he rocks his pelvis, all the things he wasn't planning to do.
Gotcha.
And they learn none of that on the racetrack. Racehorses are remarkably unbroke. The standardbred ones are even worse. I was grumping at my local trainer because I get stuck with horses that came from him. I said, Tommy, your goddamn horses aren't broke. He said, Rob, we don't want them very broke. They don't run as well. He said, we just want them not to kill anybody in the sulky. But they don't need to know much. That's a funny little hound. But the more you can do of that, the better you'll get this rear end built up. Yeah, well, he needs to learn to rock his pelvis. I do a lot of counter bend too, because it's what I can get at in the carriage. And I have a terrible time teaching anybody to do it, because nobody wants to say, God damn it, move your butt. They go, get over, and the horse goes, no. And they go, okay. That's not an answer to me. I'm gonna let him rest a minute and we'll do some counter bend. Because it's a way to get at it if you don't feel confident with the leg kick. Now, in his defense, he has one hind leg that's a little bit delinquent, but we can strengthen it.
Okay.
Still walking forward, though, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
His mind was getting tired of letting go, but his body was fine. He's pretty good.
Well, he's going, we're done, right? This is the walkout.
Well,
where
you have been on and out of it. I was not involved in the first bit, so I haven't had my share of fun. Normally your whip is on the inside to act as an extension of your inside leg. I'll let him walk a little bit this direction. I'm going to go back to the right. Start counter bend to the right because it's easier to do it on the bad side. All the lateral work is easier on the side that's sort of stiff and open because there is a resistance to push through. You try to do it on the hollow side and they just give them a hollow. So it's easier to do it on the stiffer side, which people don't believe, but it's true. Like it's easier to yield him off that floppy right leg than
Yes.
it is to yield him off the left one and make him stand on the floppy one.
Yeah.
And any kind of yielding.
Well, I was pleased, even though I was screwing up,
He
he
was
stayed forward for me.
Oh, he
on
did
that.
say so, yeah. And he's really doing a nice job dropping his right hip right now, which always used to be stuck up in the air. And I don't know if it's a structural thing. I mean, the right hind leg does very strange things, or because in his world everything always went left. Like the standardbred jogs 5 miles clockwise before they turn and go counterclockwise. They race left, they race counterclockwise. But every time they go out, they jog 5 miles to the right. So they don't do anything until they're warmed up. And then they go like stink to the left a couple of times. And they tend to be more evenly developed in the rear end if they got them to sound this left. But their fitness level is very good because they do that 5-mile jog. Like I go to a racing stable every winter on my way south, and they're really fancy stake-bred 2-year-olds, 2-pound horses. And when they're little in January, they walk down the track kind of leaning on each other because they're scared. They trot one side of the track, they lope the rest of the circuit, and they come back in. Now you're not going to get very fit doing that, but it also doesn't hurt them. And then by the time if I come through there in April on my way home, they now buck and dance and bolt all the way to the track, run like stink around several times, and buck and bolt all the way back to their stall. And they're very strong. The one day, there were 6 big boot stud colts coming back. They were bucking and pitching, the jockeys don't care. And the trainer came out of the door and he said, all right, boys, whoa. He said, the law of averages says 1, maybe 2 of these will have a good career racing. The other ones have 2 choices. Learn to be a nice riding horse or get abused or get eaten. That's very good. So he says, go back to the track, go back and forth to the barn. till all 6 of them can hack home on the buckler, and I don't care how many hours it takes. About an hour later, here they all came, these great big, raunchy 16-hand, shiny, fat, beautiful, coming 3-year-olds, walking on a loose rein, all 6 of them. Doo-doo. Said, that's good, turn them out. So they go to attach the gate, get the tax kicked off, and out they go. And he said, it's our job to give them a life. It's our job to give them a world that can function. And he said, bucking and pitching all the way to the barn isn't going to work. They were having such fun.
I love this walk right now.
I like that walk. It's beautifully stretchy. I don't know if my horse could ever find it. He'd be walking 20 miles an hour. Because if your back's tight, it's easier to go faster. Okay, pick him back up and get tracking the other direction.
Okay. And you said, I'm sorry, the whip should be on the outside for this?
Leave your whip on your right leg because the right leg is what we're going to use. So get tracking the other way. No, wait a minute. Going left. Put with your right on the outside. Sorry, I didn't need to turn you around.
I'm so confused now. I'm challenged that way anyway, Robin, so.
You don't do right and left.
I have the other one.
Yeah. I live with a guy that doesn't do right and left. Can't tell the right and left. Can't tell the horse right and left.
Okay.
Like a horseman, he uses often near, but you get him on the road. So let's organize your rein, particularly the right one, and make trot. It looks like he's leaning on your right leg.
Really?
He's collapsing the shoulder. Trot. There you go. It's usually not, I mean, you might have to kick, but it's usually not that you need a big aid. You just need to check around and see where he's receiving. That's the thing, like with the driving horses. If it doesn't answer your right whip, you go left whip, and they go, shit, where'd you come from? Sitting right behind you. I've spent years trying to figure out how to drive with 2 whips. What I used to ride with 2 whips, but I never figured it out because your whips cross. So make a little more rein connection. Half pound each end. As you get toward H, ask him to come off your right leg. Ask him to bring his butt in the middle. Bring his butt in the middle. Keep going. Tap with your whip. Don't get all tight and worried. Tap with your whip. Tap. And don't lean forward, because then you... There. Oh, he says, shit, that's weird. So if he can't counter bend, what the heck can you do with him? So now bring him off the track. Bring him off the track. There you go. Tap with the right leg. Tap. Oh, he says, that's a little different project. You can feel his right hip drop, right? Mm-hmm. And you know he's doing it right. So put your whip back. Tap. Don't mess with the hand. Good. This is an easy thing to teach because they do it all the time. Good. And now I'm getting huge engagement of the rear end. Good boy. Put your leg on. Tap him off the wall. Don't mess with the rein. Good. Right leg. Just think about that right leg. Send it up. Yeah. You can think about it with your mind and send it right up past the opposite front. You can do this without all the technology of the leg yoke and get the same effect. Very nice. So we're getting the right leg engaged and the left front free. And notice how easily he does it. And he keeps power, he doesn't get frantic, he doesn't screw his head around. Boy. Yeah. And he's not going crooked around the end. He's still going out pretty much correctly. And very good. Keep your right rein. Put his butt in the middle. Very good. How easily he does that, eh? Yes. It's a very easy thing to teach. Make a half circle, change direction. You can do that. If you don't want to deal with leg yield, you can do that. And you will build up to a very easy leg yield eventually. Because it'll give you a huge engagement of the hind leg. He's like, oh my God, I never knew my right leg did that. Now he's going to take the left leg. He's going to act dumb for a minute. Just keep asking. Don't beat him up. Ask him, tap your leg, tap your leg, tap your leg. There you go. And when you first change direction, they get all wappa-jawed. I don't get it. So sit up, stay behind him, tap with your left leg. Yeah. Keep it forward so you don't make your canter depart. There he goes. Feel him, he's testing it. Do I dare step over? He's not sure because we're now asking him to step on his not so good leg. Use your leg at the grip. Tap, don't dig, tap. tap, tap. There we go. Feeling begin to get it? Yeah, he's getting it. You gotta do it till he gets his left hip dropped. It's what I call sort of non-invasive, invasive. It doesn't really bother him. You can get a lot done. You need to keep your right rein though, because he's kind of coming out the shoulder. There you go. And actually, try your other diagonal. Do the inside. There. A little careful with it. There. Now you free the hind leg, eh? Or if you change diagonals on me. Instinct, but that was better. Yeah, stay on that diagonal. Keep posting. Tap his butt in. Tap his butt in. Tap his butt in. Keep posting. Keep posting. Yeah. Now, by God, that white leg comes up.
Oh, God, can I feel it?
So this is where, in this wonderful world of riding, there are no rules. You always ride on the outside diagonal, except when you don't need to. You never counterbend. If they can't counterbend, they ain't broke. That's very nice. And that leg that he likes to drag is coming up beautifully. And he's, with you not posting on it, he's figured out he can use the right hind under. Very good boy. And quietly walk. Close your heels, sit. Boy. Good. I think that's easier for you to play with than,
Much easier for me to play with.
and more effective actually.
Yes.
Because you can get quality. He's low heeled and long toed on his left front. I'm sure your fairy doesn't want to hear that.
Well, I think I just torqued them a bit, so I can't sweeten the heel because they're off carbs right now, but we'll work on it.
What, the foot?
No, bribing the farriers.
Oh, bribing the fairy.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
Steve, give him a carrot.
he was,
No, they're even sugary.
he got off kilter, off schedule with the rest of the barn, and then I just texted and said, when are you gonna do it? And the next day they showed up.
Ah.
You know, knowing full well, I think they thought I was more impatient than I was.
Yeah, well, he's naturally a thoroughbred ass. He has a long pass and a low heel. But the left one is distinctly different from the right one.
I was tacking up today, I'm like, wonder if I tape measured that, but I'm certainly not gonna
Well,
make any comments like that.
The toe is longer, the heel is longer. And when he comes through, the right one comes through and goes pop. This one comes through and goes,
Yeah,
and that we don't want.
so,
And particularly because it's the leg opposite the other bad leg.
yeah.
He needs good support in front for the right hind behind.
We're not sure which of his hind legs is his work, so, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure either. Except the right one's got the wobbly hawk.
Well, it's so funny because when Trish works on him.
But
you know,
there's
she'll
noticeably
go,
more
"Oh,
flexion
that's that. Oh,
in the left
that
pass
makes
than in
his
front
top go
than
like
there is
this,
in the right
that,
one.
further
Because
down.
there's no heel supporting the left one.
So it's sort of one of those cases where you fix one thing and something else kind of goes apart.
But as he stands there, you can see huge difference.
Yeah.
In he's got a heel on the right front.
And none
He's
on the
standing on his coronet on the left one.
Yeah.
Good boy, I'm not even hot or winded. I'm good.
You're wonderful. We look forward to Sunday.
That gives you something to play with.
Oh,
And the latter